Hi guys, welcome back to RUE MORGUE TV. I am RUE MORGUE Executive Editor Andrea Suvasati here with Dante. If you didn't guess correctly in our little contest, Dante was dog number 2. This is him. He's loving his Santa outfit. So congratulations to winner of that contest, Ghostface1999. Please email us at info@rue-morgue.com to set up your free subscription, and congratulations. And I also wanted to let you know that we here at RUE MORGUE TV are going on holidays as well. So there's going to be a little break in content from now until January 6th. We're going to have a whole bunch of new episodes at that time. So stay tuned for that, and happy holidays and happy new year from everyone here at the Manor.
My name is Chris Buck. I'm a former Detective Sergeant with the Toronto Police Service Homicide Squad, and you're watching RUE MORGUE TV. I was a member of the Toronto Police Service for just under 32 years. I spent the last almost 9 years in the Homicide Squad and left there in 2008 as a Detective Sergeant. Primary responsibilities in the Homicide Squad were to investigate murders, sudden deaths, and suspicious deaths of not only adults, but a lot of my responsibilities dealt with child deaths and pediatric deaths as well. During my tenure at the Homicide Squad, the cases that I investigated they'd vary over the years, anywhere from 5 to 10 per year, and some of those would include suspicious deaths that were not confirmed homicides. But I was the lead on the case, and it was my job to ensure that the investigation moved forward in a timely fashion, all the evidence was gathered properly, and ultimately to arrest the person responsible. You're picking up clues, whether it's forensic clues, you have an eyewitness that provides ideal information, and you can feel the momentum gathering as you move towards a successful conclusion. I think there's a multitude of reasons why people do kill other people. There's many motivations. Domestic-related situations where the person just loses it and they end up killing their partner. It could be a business relationship gone bad, maybe some drug-related situation where this person is either ripping them off or they're trying to move in on their territory. It's a drug-related killings. There's others where people are suffering from mental illness. And I recall one case where this young man bludgeoned his mother to death with a ball-peen hammer, and he knew what he'd done. He put the hammer down and called and said he just killed his mom. So there's many. There's murder-suicides. I've had a doctor jumped in front of the subway train with her young infant. Another mother jumped off the bridge at the Morningside bridge down onto the 401, and both of them were killed by the passing traffic. Yeah, I don't think I'd say that anybody is capable of killing another human being. I know that statement has been made in the past, that right circumstances, the right motivation, the right mindset at that time, you may. Some people kill for what they call self-defense. Others kill because that is what they want to do at the time. But I don't know that everybody has that in them to do it.
Oops, that was maybe a mistake.
What was maybe a mistake?
Me getting in this car with you. Well, you might as well be a serial killer. Sorry, but you do kind of look like one.
Well, the house that Jack built, I can say off the bat, it was initially fairly disturbing to watch it. There was obviously a theme of this one person with some kind of issue, whether it was his upbringing or whatever. But basically, he went through his days of killing different individuals, predominantly women. The movie would flick back and forth, and it obviously trying to show some kind of background on Jack. I have dealt with investigations where you don't initially know all about this person, But as you dig into their past, maybe you're talking to people from their, when they were a young child, and the problems they were having at school. Maybe they were having bullying issues at school. Maybe they were, they'd lost their parents in a crash. Then they start having problems at school. They get isolated. Then they start, maybe they're an only child. One of the parents is not there, and they start to sort of digress and act out on their anger. They're angry about everything, but there's nothing around them that they can get angry at. So they may start with animals. They may start with their peers, their friends in the school, and they ultimately will, at times, progress to the point where they end up killing somebody. So I think that part with Jack is accurate. He was an interesting person. I mean, aside from I guess the shock value of the actual murders, which were quite well produced actually, he was an interesting kind of person because he showed different levels of interest in the murders he was committing. You know, it was almost like his alter ego or his confidant would say, "Hey, Jackie, what about this?" You know, and so it was. That was kind of bizarre because you weren't really sure who this person was. This person, Verge, it was hard to determine whether it was in his head or it was happening. My interpretation was that Verge was in his head, talking to him, and ultimately he met Verge at the very end, and Verge took him on his journey down to hell. The scenes as they were portrayed in the movie were quite accurate. The injury pattern, the scenes themselves. One thing that may have been missing is, and this may have been done deliberately, there were a lot of opportunities where Jack would probably have been caught.
You mind if I take a look in the van, please, sir?
I'd be a bad guy if I said no.
But on that, if I can expand on that a little bit, there was one thing during the movie that actually it rang quite true about witnesses getting involved. There's a blonde lady, and she lived in, I guess, a fairly, I don't know, downward neighborhood. So I think she realized that she was going to be the next one. He had a certain number, and he said, doesn't mean it can't go to this next number. And so he said, well, go ahead and scream.
If you feel like screaming, I definitely think that you should. You call that screaming? Help! 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 Yes! Help! There's a murderer in the building!
So she did. He goes, okay, don't hear anybody coming down the stairs. Open the window. And, you know, he's taunting her. So she lets go, blood-curdling screams and yelling, and Jack just says, I don't hear anybody. And you could just see the despair in her, that she realized no one was coming. And unfortunately, there are situations in real life where that happens, where people will see something or they'll hear something and think, somebody else will call. Somebody else will come forward and say what they saw. And then a lot of times they don't. So the police involvement wasn't up to the level of, say, like an FBI investigation or anything of that level. Certainly, even in police shows that are accurately depicting an investigation, they still don't cover it all. There's still they never eat, they never go to the bathroom, they never get tired. They never look like they haven't shaved in 3 days. You know, and so that's a hard thing to depict. You got an hour. A TV show to depict this investigation, whereas, I mean, Jack's film was like 2.5 hours. That's a long time. You can't mix in a lot of, I think whoever created the movie they were trying to decide which way they wanted to go with that, and that the police investigation aspect of it wasn't taken to the next level. Certainly, if the maker of the film was looking for shock value, they succeeded. And I can imagine that a lot of people watching this film would find it quite shocking. I mean, there could be something more deep. You know, they're trying to get inside this person's head, saying, you know, these are the demons that Jack is fighting with, and that may be, you know, the voice that he can hear is his alter ego saying, "Hey, Jackie, you know, you did this and you did that," and it was quite comical at times, but it always reverted back to a fairly dark, a really dark character it played with Jack.
Is it too much to fucking ask that the contents of the box match what's written on the label?
I enjoyed it from like to watch the movie and watch the scenes, but I don't think it would be something that I would. I might have watched it for a little while and thought, oh, that's a bit too over the top. I'd rate it a 7 out of 10. I felt there was a lot of research done by the maker of this film. There's a lot of intricate background information, personality issues, different things from this Jack's childhood and growing up, things he'd witnessed, and so although it wouldn't be my film of choice, I think it was a well put together film. Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Sorry.
I was going to look at you before I started talking.